Well, I'm back by popular demand because I've had requests to talk about a specific subject related to air travel. And it's actually an excellent idea, and I wish I had come up with myself, but I didn't. One of our wonderful Mansfield parents did, so I want to address this as best I can. I know it's a challenge with air travel going through the airport. Maneuvering through an airport without a special needs child or a child with sensory differences is a challenge in itself. But when you have a child that struggles to transition and follow protocols real well, it can be a challenge. So here's just a couple ideas to think about on that whole process. It's definitely worth your while to take advantage of the trainings that some of the airlines have done, which we have posted on our websites, allowing your kids to go into the airport and to go on a plane. Some of the commercial airlines, Delta is one in particular that does this, and I'm sure you can reach out to their social media or post something on their social media asking when they're doing that again. I think that's a phenomenal preparatory idea, and I've heard tremendous feedback from our families on that. So that's one point. But if you're getting ready to get on a plane in the near future and you won't have time to do that, I'm going to give you a few ideas. Depending on the severity of your child's issues, I would definitely contact the airline and let them know your situation and ask for their suggestions. So that's number one. So number two, when I would get to that airport in plenty of time, because anxiety always produces more problems and more struggles with our kids. So better that you're sitting at the airport with an iPad or entertaining yourselves waiting for the flight than you're rushing, because if you're rushing, your child's going to sense that. They always do, and that increases the anxiety. So, they say for domestic flights 2 hours, you might want to figure 3 hours just so you have plenty of time. Okay? If you can, don't have to deal with a vehicle. So leave your vehicle at home. Uber over there, hire a car service, do something where you don't have to worry about the parking issue, because that adds on an additional factor. So when you get to the airport and you go to check in, I think it's important to check in at the front, check your bags. The least amount of things you're carrying is the best, because more causes more problems. So consolidate, check your bags, pay the extra fees if you have to do that, and then carry on specifically what you need to carry on. Make sure you check the TSA requirements before you pack things, because it's specific on quantities and sizes and liquids. So that's posted on the website, and you can find all that out through your airline carrier. So make sure you've got everything you need for that. If you're going to plan specific snacks that you can't, they're liquid and you can't pack them, better to buy them on the other side once you go through security, and be prepared for that. So the other thing is, I would definitely oftentimes I would let security know that you're traveling with somebody with special needs if you're having to walk through security. One thing I have done personally is I have done Global Pass or Global Entry, and if somebody is traveling on my Global Pass or my Global Entry ticket, I always get TSA PreCheck, and that person will too. And generally speaking, TSA PreCheck is a lot easier. It's a lot smaller line, generally speaking. You don't have to take your shoes off, so you can look at doing that. And I believe that pass is good for 5 years. But there are situations where the airlines has escorts people through TSA. So you might want to look into doing that if that's an option you need to consider. Outside of that process, be very patient with those people. Sometimes they don't understand. Prepare your child. Watch videos. Go to the airport and take videos of the TSA process. Have them watch. This is what we're going to ask you to do. And even if you have to bring a dry erase board where you're knocking those steps off, go ahead and do that. Do all that planning so that they are very familiar with all the steps that will occur in that process. I would also not book a flight at a heavy travel time. Heavy travel times are early in the morning flights or evening flights. Go during the middle of the day. It's less crowded in there, and it'll make it a much more peaceful flight. And you can watch my other videos that I've prepared for all those items you should bring on that flight to make it successful.